What's going on, everybody? Robbie here, and it's time to take a look at Mega Construx Pokemon Gyarados. Now, this is set number DYF14. It has 352 pieces, retails for $40, and is recommended for ages 8 and up. I picked this up at my local Toys R Us store today, so they should be out in the wild. You guys should be able to find those without too much trouble, either today or within the next couple of weeks. I think they should hit pretty much saturation at all major retail outlets. So, Gyarados. This is an awesome looking set here. Gyarados is one of my favorite Pokemon. I think he's one of a lot of people's favorite Pokemon. But they did a pretty good job of representing him here out of bricks, which is kind of a tough sell considering he's just like a big, serpent. But he comes on this nice water base. He's got lots of body segments. Really cool looking. He also includes a little Ultra Ball there. So that's pretty neat. So checking out the sides of the box here, you can see nice head-on shot here, side-on shot here. And on the back you can see we've got some other sets that you can purchase. We've got the Magikarp set, of course, Bulbasaur vs. Pikachu, and of course Charizard as well. You can check out reviews for all of these sets on my channel. And on the back we've got a nice image of the completed model here. And the base, a little bit better view of the base. It's very simple, just some water elements here, and it looks like he just plugs right onto the base to kind of hold him up since he doesn't have any legs to speak of. So yeah, really cool. Like how they use the new, well, not new, but they use the antenna pieces for his little feelers, and it looks like we get a lot of nice printed pieces as well in the eyes and things like that. And it utilizes the wing pieces from the Charizard and Zubat sets for just accents, his fins and things like that, kind of giving you an idea of just how big this figure is, well, this model is going to be. So I'm really excited about this set, so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get that put together, and we will check it out together in just a moment. Alright guys, here is Gyarados, and this is quite a large Mamma Jamma. And just to give you guys an idea of the overall size of this guy, let's bring him in with the Charizard set, if you happen to have this one hanging around. There he is with Charizard. Looks like you could just eat him up in one gulp. And here he is with a standard Mega Construx micro figure. So yeah, it's pretty big. This guy could just fit like right in his mouth. Right in his mouth, I said. There you go. Alrighty, so Gyarados, let's take a look at this guy. And normally I would do the base separately, but I think I'm just going to do it all together because having no arms or legs, Gyarados kind of needs a base to sort of, be on. So we'll kind of do it all together, and I'll show you sort of the ins and outs here. But first of all, you do get this lovely Ultra Ball. Very nice. My favorite overall Pokeball. Probably a lot of people's favorite overall Pokeball. I just like the design, I like the colors. I think it looks pretty sweet. It's a nice printed piece on top here. So that looks really cool. So now I have a not quite a full lineup of standard Pokeballs, but getting there. Missing a Master Ball here, but this will do for now. So you have all of those, which is nice to. It's nice to see them all together, to be honest. And now Gyarados, he's got this nice little wave effect going on his base here. Actually, I'll take this off because it's going to fall anyway. A little spot to hold the Pokeball. Just some random water effects kind of floating around. And then on the back, pretty much just the same. You do get these little bits here that I believe are just kind of here to support Gyarados, which is fine. And you guys can kind of see all of the segments of his body. Just like that. So let's remove him from his base, and when you do that, you definitely want to hold it by these yellow pieces and just kind of pull up like that. Otherwise, the whole yellow section will probably come off on the base. So just lift it by that and you should not have any problems. And here we can see Gyarados in all of his glory. Let me straighten him out for you. And there you go. Gyarados. Let's see, I have a ruler here. We can kind of measure this guy a little bit maybe. Well, there's a foot, and that hasn't even like gotten to his tail, so I'd say he's nearly 1.5 feet long, like at 1 foot 5 inches or so. So that's pretty cool. He looks pretty neat. I mean, they didn't get the Gyarados face exactly, but I think for something built out of bricks, I'd say they got pretty darn close. The eyes are great printed on there. He's got a nice crest. It's nice and solid on there as well because the post just goes all the way through. You can open his mouth a little bit more if you want to. But mostly it is just kind of stuck open because Gyarados is not really known for ever closing his mouth. He's got some little, he's got the little fins behind his head here that he can flap. All of his horns are nicely represented on the sides of his head. He's got some nice teeth in there. Very, very nicely done. Behind his head you can see this larger segment. They did a nice job with the fins along the back as well. That's pretty cool. And all of these ball joints are nice and really solid. You can get a lot of really nice poses out of this guy. You can basically just curl him up onto himself. He's got one just regular hinge here on his tail. It just goes up and down. So you can get that going. You can open these tail fins up a bit more if you prefer them that way as well. Overall, just a really, really nicely done. And you can see he's got different segments all along his underside here as well. So here's the base for attaching him to this part. There are two areas like this. I'm not entirely sure what these are for. Maybe for attaching him in some other way. But they don't really quite line up. Well, maybe they do. Let's test this theory. So if I put him straight on the base here, yeah, no, they don't really quite line up that way. Maybe they're kind of meant to sort of line up that way, but they don't quite. But he does have exposed studs on the bottom, so you can do some fun things with that. He's got exposed studs along the sides, so that you can, you know, kind of recreate some fun stuff. Maybe have Pikachu catching a ride on this guy at some point, you know. Woo, taking a ride on the Gyarados train. Pretty neat. Yeah, so just a very, very nice, solid set. And honestly, even though most of these segments are, you know, basically the same, it did not feel overly repetitive. They break it up enough, I think, that you kind of get a decent build all around. I mean, basically all of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 segments are, for the most part, almost identical, with the exception of a few areas, the tops and bottoms. But it really didn't feel that bad. Plus, it was really nice to kind of see it all come together in the end. So for that, I'm very pleased. But yeah, this is a very imposing, large Pokemon here. It's really cool if you look down the whole length of the body. But yeah, so for anybody on the fence about this set, it's definitely worth it. It's really impressive in hand, and like I said before, it absolutely dwarfs the other Pokemon sets here. Let's just have Charmander just riding along on his back. He can Falcor it for a while. But yeah, a really, really solid set. Again, all the printed pieces are very nicely done. You've got the eyes, you've got the mouth pieces. I think that might be it for printing, other than the fins on the tail, which look really nice as well. But yeah, other than that, just really, really nicely done. Very, very happy to have this guy in hand and on display. So let me get him back on his little display stand here. And we'll figure out a nice cool pose to end with. Let's rock his head back a little bit here. Bring it up, and then bring this down. That seems pretty cool. Yeah, and he'll stay in, you know, whatever pose you put him in. So very, very cool. Really nice how they managed to get that kind of snake-like body to work. So very, very neat. I'm very happy with this set, and yeah, I think it was a fun build. Again, I've said this about all the Pokemon sets thus far. I love the colors. I think Mega Construx did a great job. I'm sorry if I called them Mega Blocks possibly a million times already in all of these reviews, but Mega Construx did a fantastic job of really capturing the feel of the Pokemon that they were building, and it definitely comes across in the sets. A lot of love went into these sets, like you can definitely tell. So very, very happy with that. I can't wait to see what else they have with the Pokemon series, because you know, I've already picked up the entire line that's available now, and I'm looking forward to what they have in store. So with that said, that's going to do it for this review, guys. I want to thank you so very much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the review, please hit that like button. It really does help me out. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. I'll be back with more Mega Construx. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.